Okay, good evening, everyone. So, as you all know, we are having our Friday Experts Talk series, which is actually a part of the ongoing 10 weeks of Yuktahaar project. And today, as the expert, we have Dr. Ravi Moose joining us. Dr. Ravi Moose is an Ashtavedera. He's an Ayurvedic doctor coming from a traditional family of Ayurveda doctors, which means that his past generations, father, grandfather, they all have been practicing Ayurveda since decades. There are very few families in India that have been designated as families of Ashtavedya. These are actually families who are, physicians who have mastered the 8 branches of Ayurveda as mentioned in the classical text. And initially, we did have 18 such families in India. And unfortunately, we have only 4 families, such families that are practicing Ayurveda presently. And Dr. Ravi Moose happens to be belonging to one of those 4 families. He has been the former president of the Ayurveda Medical Association of India, and he has been practicing Ayurveda in India and abroad since, decades. I personally know him very well, and he's like my go-to person if I want to have any kind of inputs which is related to Ayurveda. In fact, when I was putting out my TBBD program together, and I was researching a lot about a lot of these Ayurveda supplements, how they work, I always looked upon him to get his perspective, because he has been practically working with all these supplements since many years. So without any further delay, I'll welcome Dr. Ravi Moose. Dr. Ravi Moose, thank you so much for joining, and I'm so glad that I have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Unmun, for inviting me for this program. It's a great honor, actually, be with you and participate in your one of the Ask the Expert program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, I'll jump straight to the questions. So, yesterday when I had put up the post announcing that we are going to have this talk, a lot of these people posted comments, basically questions about the 4 Ayurveda supplements that my book talks about. You know about the book, you know about the 4 herbal, the Ayurveda supplements, which is Trifla, Trikatu, Chitraka, and Daru Haridra. In fact, to just let my people who are watching us, to just let them know that before I actually started working on with these supplements, I always went back to Dr. Moose and got his expertise, trying to know what is the perfect dosage, so as to make it safe and efficient for everybody around. Dr. Moose, the questions here are basically about the safety of the 4 supplements that the book talks about. The questions like whether they can be taken without consulting a doctor, or whether people can take it, and basically the safety issue. So can you just speak about these 4 supplements, what they are, what they do? What is your take on that?
Yeah, definitely all these 4 supplements, and 2 of them contain 3 of each, like Trikatu and Trifala are containing 3 products. All 3 of them like a fruits in a way. Haritaki is a fruit, and Amlaki is a fruit coming in Trifala category, and Vivekaki is also fruit. Additionally, ginger is one of the Trikatu, and as well as red, black pepper, and as well as long pepper. So these are the 6 out of those 2 products. And I think most of them are quite familiar for us, and many of us also use in kitchen. I mean, Trifala, especially Amlaki, is one of the major one, which we are still using as a vegetable and in pickles, as well as people are making chutney with it. Even in around 40-50 years back, people were also using haritaki with Terminalia chabula as a pickle, And unfortunately, nowadays, people are using something which is more tasty in nature, and somehow this chabula, I mean, haritaki or kaduka, we call it as, that's gone out from the kitchen because of the taste. It's quite astringent in taste. So even in explaining Ayurveda also, people in the books, it is mentioned in the vegetable section. So it's quite obvious we can use I mean, of course, people are all using as a medicine, but it comes in that section. So basically, these are quite safe, three of them. And the other three, which are ginger, pepper, and long pepper. Definitely, ginger and pepper we are using it in the kitchen, and long pepper is slightly a different one, but very similar qualities of the black pepper itself. So all of them are pretty safe, and many of them are we are already using for decades and years, and all these as long as Ayurveda is there, all these products were there. Daru Haridra slightly, it's like a variety kind of turmeric, and the other one is Chitraga. Maybe if you take among the four, maybe Chitraga or Plumbago Zelenica is the slightly more hot potency in it. We call it as Agni or Chitraga. And but in the books, it's clearly mentioned about contraindications, and clearly mentioned about the test dose. If you have any kind of discomfort, immediately you stop it. Just many people can be there who doesn't know what exactly whether these products are suitable to them or not. So with the test dose, definitely we can come to know it's suitable or not. Within 2 3 days we can immediately understand. So in terms of safety, these are quite safe itself. With the potency, of course, we are not given in the full form, as if we are giving in Ayurvedic, like as a doctor. These are much more safer way we have administered. But definitely don't forget about doing other things like a good diet and timing of food, everything that you need to do to get the maximum benefit of the Yuktahaar project. Otherwise, you only with the medicine don't think everything can achieve, and just not only follow the medicine, but also the routines she's mentioned. So in that way, definitely it is very safe and it is effective as well.
Yes. So, sir, we have discussed many times like how these four supplements can actually cleanse the body, detoxify, remove all the bad microbes, and bring about a complete, microbial rebalance. So, can you talk about, what they actually do in terms of metabolism, digestion,
Definitely.
anything of that sort?
Yeah, with this product, all of them are slightly kapha reducing in nature. Kapha, like a mucus or extra mucus in the body, it reduces in the body, which means whenever you take the food in the wrong time, in wrong place, and wrong uh, food itself, then suddenly it increases ama. We call it as undigested food particle, or even improperly digested food particle. But if you keep on giving it, body has to absorb something from that, and when you try to cook even without flame, if you are not hungry, then it will you can't properly cook it. So similarly, if your digestive system is very weak and in a very improper time, definitely that can create a kind of indigestion inside the body, and that the body has to absorb. So once it is absorbed, the whole metabolism slows down. So according to Ayurveda, there are seven tissues. Like the first of body fluid produces, then the blood, then the muscle, then the fat, then the bone, and bone marrow. Like that, everything goes on. So in case if there is any blockage, like ama is there, it can reduce the metabolism. And these four products are increasing that flow and improves the metabolism, so that each and every tissue is being produced in the body. And you can also see some people are anemic, even they are obese, and there are many people suffering from weak bones. The strength of the bones are not there, so because the transformation is not really taking place. So to help that, these kind of things can help in improving the metabolism and create each and every tissues in proper quantity. And in those cases, and maybe when you are already been in the Yuktahaar project and the beginning, you may not see any major differences in the weight, in the body weight. It's just transforming from one place to another. Like these products are treating within the body, so it's just improving the metabolism, and your body fluid becomes a little bit more in the blood quantity, and especially the trigger 2 is also working in the blood level, purifying that. And additionally, especially as long pepper, and all these transformations, result in you are redistributing everything within the body. So you may not see any major weight loss in the beginning, but definitely you see body becoming lighter, as well as the inch loss is also very visible. So yeah, once it is achieved, then you may see some difference in the scale. So, and basically it is meant for health and strength and maximum benefit for the body, by removing all the unwanted things from the body. So as a result, as a side benefit, you may get lighter in the body and slight and feeling thin and feeling everything, lightness in mentally and physically. You can see that, and definitely it is also changing the entire bacteria colonies, which is suitable to you to absorb and get the best out of the food as well. So that is also needed. You need to have a certain kind of bacteria to absorb certain kind of food. So we are creating a
Yeah,
kind of colony which is suitable for absorption of everything.
right. So if I have to summarize, I'll say that the takeaway for this is basically that do not look at these 4 herbal supplements, the 4 Ayurvedic supplements, as supplements for weight loss. What they actually do is create a lot of health, vitality in the body by correcting the entire body physiology, by correcting the microbial balance in the body, cleansing the body, getting rid of all the toxins and impurities, and the weight loss or inch loss or lightness in the body or in the mind is something that you get as an added side benefit.
Yes, yes, yes.
The second thing is, like you said, that these are completely safe and these are time tested supplements, which, Ayurveda and you have been using since, thousands of years, like,
Of
the
course, like
families that,
I mean, this is a very common thing, a very common herb in Ayurveda, and very safe as well. So that's why, we, I agree to write it in the book itself, because it's very safe in that way.
yeah. And also the dose that is put out in the book is again something that we have discussed it to be very safe, because obviously Dr. Moose and I we were aware that this is going out as a book and there won't be personal one-on-one consultation. Therefore, the dose in the book is actually quite mild and the smallest dose
Definitely,
that can really
yeah.
that can really
In a way that no one should get any side effect of any bad effect of these things, and get the maximum benefit of it. Or additionally, with the test dose is there, you can try it whether it is suitable to you or not, and as well as you follow all the regimens and the diet and everything what the book says, then you're going to get the maximum benefit of it. So it's
also
very
take also take care of the contraindications which is there in the book,
definitely,
just to be a
definitely,
little
yeah.
more safer, so that there is no complications whatsoever. And a very brilliant thing, Dr. Moose, you said is about also following the diet and the entire regime and not thinking that only clinging on to these supplements is going to do all the magic.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately,
yeah,
we
so
have
coming,
a belief that health you can buy it from the store. Unfortunately, it is not like that. Even the product, if you are taking in the right time and right place and with the right you have to do few things. Not only buying the product but also follow certain regimens to get the maximum benefit of it. Like people are forgetting all these things. Directly buying things and believing that is going to be beneficial. To be honest, I can also explain, like people are going into a shop. I'm telling for everyone, and seeing the label what in it. But whether they are not asking whether it is suitable to you or not. Whether am I suitable to that to absorb all these things. Whether you have a proper bacteria colony to get the maximum benefit of the content of the food product. I mean, so that is not there for many people, and believing that the product is very bad. So it's not like that. This product is not good to match with that. So that is like a Chavanapras. Many people are taking Chavanapras, believing the child will, flourish like anything, but it's not happening. Just it's not only the problem of Chavanapras; it's a problem of us. whether we are
Yeah,
suitable
yeah,
to that. So follow
yeah.
the
So
few steps of what is mentioned, and just wait. You when you start, you may start getting benefit, like doing yoga. The next day you are not going to get enlightened, or maybe very few get enlightened the next day. But you need to, it's a practice. You just follow. I mean, it's a 10-week program, so definitely within 1 or 2 weeks you can see the differences.
yeah. So very well said, Dr. Moose. Like what is meant is that, just going out and buying food products, calling them superfoods that people are buying, moringa and whatnot, chia seeds and those seeds. When the base itself is not right, when your body is not cleaned up, it's not pure. There are already toxins that are clogging. Then none of these superfoods are going to do any magic. So my second question is about the diet. So a lot of people, like the modern science, the Western world has, consistently fed us and made us believe that we need to eat non-vegetarian food. Um, People who eat non-vegetarian food are, most people are eating it like 5 to 6 times in a week, like 5, 6 days in a week. People are eating every day also, and people are feel that high protein diet is the way if you really want to have a fit and nice body. So high protein diet is one of the things that there's a large population that believes in. Then there's another population that believes in vegan diet, where they say that, oh, no meat and no eggs, but not even ghee, right? So no ghee, no buttermilk. But Ayurveda believes in ghee. Ayurveda actually believes in buttermilk as well. There are so many therapies where we use buttermilk for therapies.
We
So
do
what is
also,
your take on it?
yes, sorry for interrupting. Actually, we do believe also in meat, but in moderation, in whether we really deserve it or not, whether you need it or whether you deserve it or not. So basically, we are taking everything in a balanced stage, balanced, not neither to that or no to this. Even not too religious, not against it. Also, some everything is just in moderation, and that is best. Even you take a blood test, if like a sugar level has to be a certain level, even blood pressure has to be in a certain level with a range. If it is too low, definitely not good. Too good is also not good. Too big rather. Too high is also not good. Even in cholesterol, if people become very low cholesterol by doing a lot of regimens and all, and the memory problem is the main problem for cholesterol. Low cholesterol having a big issue with the memory. So like that, everything should be moderate, and too hot climate is not good. Too cold is not so, which is very very clear. In with a protein diet, definitely you get a lot of strength. You get a lot of, and depends on your job. If your work is really demanding such a heavy, they may able to digest, and they may able to absorb everything from the meat. If you are sitting in front of a computer and doing such kind of work, they should be very, they should really think about what exactly they need to eat, because in a lean person, even you give something to emaciate the body, there is no issue according to Ayurveda. A thin person can do some emaciation treatment to remove the toxins and all, but a obese person never think about anything add on. It's very difficult to go behind. It's very easy to go a little bit in front. So you have to be careful if you are, especially people, those who are reading this book, and maybe many of them are interested to lose weight or something like that. Definitely, if they put too much of protein in their body, it's very difficult to take it out. So I'm not telling to completely become a vegan or something, that because vegan diet is also, people say it is healthy. True, it is healthy, but it is not strong. People won't become really strong with the vegan diet. We have seen many vegan people. They call they are healthy, but they are very fragile in nature, very very delicate. Their system is so thin and difficult. I mean, they lack many things. They don't explain, they don't tell us clearly. Another thing, the people are eating meat, of course they are strong, but they are not healthy. So if you really balance everything in a good way, you can be strength as well as healthy. So a moderation of, maybe once in a week you can take some fish or good, that too freshwater fish is better one than seafood. And yeah, maybe once in a while you can have an egg, that too in a smaller quantity. Additionally, you can, other days you can go for more vegan diet itself. So in a combination of both,
Vegetables, you mean?
vegetables rather, not vegan. Not vegan means even without ghee and all. So vegetables are very much needed. Like in a food, I mean, what my understanding is, like a balanced diet has a four portion of thing, and one is green vegetable, one is like a little more colored vegetables, one with a grain, and another one with some cereals or maybe a fish or once in a week, like that, as some protein. So grains in a quarter plate, protein in a quarter plate, green vegetables in one plate, and little more colored vegetable like carrots or beetroots or even onion or maybe some different colored bacon or what you call eggplant or something like that in a occasional. So you get the benefit of all. Of course, the fruit doesn't come in a normal major meal, so you can have get the benefit of all. So
Okay. So basically, yeah.
yeah, please carry on. Yeah,
To
next question. I think I
to
answered the
summarize,
question.
yeah, to summarize, I will say that what you are saying is that it's fine to have non-vegetarian food if you can just have it like once a week or maximum twice a week, and you don't have to go vegan as well. Moderation there itself is also good, where you are having ghee and buttermilk and other stuff. So basically, it's a moderation, it's a balanced thing where there is grains, vegetables, there is meat which is not very frequent, and the food which is can be cooked in ghee, and there can be a buttermilk. So basically, a whole sort of a balanced thing is what you say is good. You don't have to go to any extreme end of any spectrum.
So
um
we should get the benefit of everything.
yes,
It is made
yes.
for us, not only for
Yeah.
one. So you get when you are eating a certain type of food again and again, you get the benefit of it as well as the consequence of it. If you are eating different type of food in a different days and like even the fruits different days and different fruit, so you get the benefit of all, and without repeating the same thing again. So as if we are not opening any door for any diseases, because our body has everything, every ammunition, every guns, where if to fight every disease, every viruses and bacteria and other colonies. So we are equipped with everything, and our body is not with one type of food which is suitable for one type of virus to attack or bacteria to attack. So we are protected with everything, not one.
So basically, what you're meaning to say is that having a variety in diet will lead to a stronger immune system in the
Definitely,
body.
definitely, definitely.
Okay. Okay. So my next question to you, sir, is not about, a lot of people have been, listening to this English proverb, which is eat breakfast like a king and lunch like a prince. And following that proverb, they have taken this so seriously that most of the people I know, like when they join me as clients, they start their day with, say, a laddu, and the breakfast would be like parathas and eggs for breakfast, so all that kind of a heavy meal. um, so what is your take on it? What should be a breakfast like, and should a breakfast be bigger than the lunch, like they say, breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince?
I
What
think
does Ayurveda say?
many people are eating. They are pretending they are king in all the three times, not only just prince and poor person. It's like a three thing. So yeah, basically Ayurveda doesn't suggest that. I mean, we are not telling to eat very light breakfast, maybe a moderate diet in the moderate food in the breakfast, and lunch is according to Ayurveda. Madhyane Ardharatre Pittam Saradi Gupita. That's the time actually the Agni is in the highest level, digestive power in the highest level in the lunchtime. So you can have a real complete balanced meal that period, and make a lighter dinner as well. So with that, yeah, going for paratha and all in the morning is too heavy, and that is also mostly people eat before 10 o'clock. That's a kapha time as well. So when you're taking a heavy food in the kapha time, the digestive system will not be in a condition to absorb the maximum. So make it lighter, make it more warmer. Warm food is better than the cold food. Like a fruit, people are eating fruits in the early morning. That is also not so. Fruit, it can be cooked. If it is warm fruit, then fine, up to some extent. But people are eating raw. Actually, it reducing all the agni, the digestive power, and you feel happy with the small quantity. But if you're taking something like a soup or maybe a upma, I mean something warm. If you're taking something warm, it's better in the morning. In the
Yeah,
light,
so like
medium. You can take medium, not heavy as a lunch. Lunch should be heavier.
so lunch should be heavier than the breakfast,
Yes.
and So lunch, like just for people to have a reference, lunch can be a roti, like a millet roti, a bhakri, like we say in Maharashtra. So a roti, there can be rice, there can be dal, sabzi, buttermilk. So basically a complete wholesome lunch.
Yes.
And the breakfast should be lighter. So when we say breakfast should be lighter, firstly, it can be something like a khichdi, or it can be something like a kanji or a porridge, like we say. So these are suitable for breakfast. And starting the day with something like a laddu or a fruit or dates. These are quite heavy things to start the day with. And so like you mentioned, the Ayurveda, according to Ayurveda, this is the kapha period of the day, and this is not the time when your body is going to accept things which are of a little heavier constitution, and you go towards things which are a little lighter, with examples that we just discussed.
Yes. And another thing, you consume only that much breakfast so that you get hunger for the next lunch. Getting hungry is the best way to get the maximum benefit of the food. If you are not hungry, I think you skip even. No, I don't tell you to skip the meal. Maybe you take something like a porridge or very light food. So if you are taking a dosha or idli, maybe in southern India we are using more idli or something like that. Or so you consume only 2 or 3, so that by lunchtime, like around 12:30 or 1 o'clock, you really feel hungry, and you eat a real complete balanced meal. Then you are going to get everything from that. Not. But if you are not hungry by that time, you understand you consume too much for the breakfast, or your Agni, your digestive power is not good. So for everything, hunger is the most important. Then even for the dinner, hunger is more important. If you are hungry, eating in sufficient quantity is not going to make your body too heavy. Make sure everyone is really hungry. Sorry.
So basically, what happens is that people usually start their day with such a big breakfast. There are people who take either vada pav or misal pav or paranthas, and there are people who even take eggs, omelets, and breads and all these for breakfast. And then what happens is that they will not feel hungry enough for a hearty lunch.
Yes.
If they do feel hungry enough for a hearty lunch, it will be quite late in the day. Like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and that is where it's a complete mess, and the digestion, the metabolism suffers, and that is where we get into that vicious cycle of constantly feeling heavy and constantly feeling clogged, and basically having bad health and even body weight and body size.
So can I add one more thing? One of my friend is doing a research in Ayurveda. He is working in National Research Institute of Panchakarma in Kerala itself. So he found that many people are already having a lot of cholesterol, high cholesterol, and he found that many people are not eating food on the time, on the right time, and they are eating too fast. And these are the reason for most of the cholesterol. Not just eating a oily, heavy food. So if you are not taking the food in the right time, even quitting a food like a lunch, I am going to increase body weight, and when they are really hungry, they don't eat, and they eat again when they are not hungry. So that also create cholesterol. So eating too fast, eating in wrong time, and eating when you eat, not eating when you are hungry. These are the main 3 factors for cholesterol. Especially those who are looking after the diet. Even after looking after that, they are not the cholesterol level is not going down just because of these 3 things. Just I want to add this thing to the point.
That's a brilliant thing you added, that it's just not about what you're eating, it's also about when you're eating, the timing. And it's also about how you're eating, like the attitude, whether you're eating fast, whether you're eating with a lot of stress in your mind, whether you are having a lot of anger while you're eating. So all of these things is a part of a healthy lifestyle. It's just not about choosing superfoods on your plate and thinking that, I'm going to have a great health.
You should be super here also. Not only in the food. To be honest, actually, many people, I also found that those who are eating with grief. Actually all these food has to become a part of you, a cell of you in future, and just expel the bad things also. If you are eating with the fear and watching a TV or movie or mobile, even reading, I say you're eating the TV, you're eating the, you're not really conscious what you are doing. So you can, especially while eating, don't be multitasking. Just concentrate only on
Yeah.
the food and enjoy each and everything of the food. And, then you get the maximum benefit. Otherwise, you are creating a cell which is not really friendly to you, which may lead to diseases like autoimmune or some other things. So consciousness, tanmanaha, just focus on that is very important. Whatever you do, multitasking is not an ideal thing for, especially when you're with the body. Definitely not do with the body.
Yeah.
Sorry for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I mean, interrupting you in between. Enjoy.
No, no, not, not at all. This was a great thing that you said. In fact, I read it somewhere a few days back that multitasking is the most stressful thing that we can do, because we are not multitasking actually. We think ourselves to be very efficient because we think we are multitasking, but your brain can only think of one thought at one instant. At one instant, your brain can only think one thing. So when you're multitasking, you're not actually multitasking, you're switching tasks. So
Correct.
you're doing this, then you're doing that. The task switching that we are doing, that's a very, very, stressful activity for the brain. And therefore, at least I say that, at least for the time that you're eating, you should just try monotasking and not multitasking.
Yeah.
Okay, so sir, like I have always like spoken with to you, and you've always stressed about how important, like even now you were telling me that how important it is to feel the sense of hunger. Like I remember you told me once that it is not about the time on the clock which is there on the wall. It is about the cue, which the timing which you're getting, the hunger signal which you're getting in your belly, in your stomach, which is about hunger. And so there is a whole lot of segment, like people who believe that they should be eating every 2 hours, and they actually do go to the extent of putting alarms on their phones, and they eat every 2 hours, where even if they are not hungry, just because they have been told by their health expert or by whoever they are consulting that you should be eating every 2 hours, they are just literally eating whatever has been put for them in the diet chart.
Yeah.
So
So,
the
I
other
mean,
part, the other
yeah, we don't really agree with that in a way. I mean, our intestine is a very small tube, it has a lot of limitations as well. So, when you're eating too much, too quick, definitely the body won't be able to absorb everything. So, if you take a fist of stone and throw to a mango, something will hit the mango, no? So, just keep on giving, bombarding with the food, then definitely something will absorb in the body. I mean, that's not the real one. You should be feeling hungry. Hunger is a factor. It's a factor. Thirst is also a fact. So you should have that to consume, to get the maximum from the food if you want really to get. And nowadays people are having a lot of blood pressure, that pressure. It is one way, one way or another. It's like a food pressure. It's too much of food and what we need than we need. So I think I can't agree with that. You should, if you are feeling hungry in every 2 hours, you should consult the doctor, not no. So otherwise, yeah, it may be too much of it. Otherwise, yeah, there is a time. I mean, basically, two times are mentioned in books, Ayurvedic books, around 11 o'clock and evening 6 o'clock. But now we made it into a three section. But I think you stick on to the three. Four is too much. Five is even worse, I believe. So four means that people are eating a good meal around 4 o'clock, just like pakodas and everything. I mean, many of them. I mean, I think all of you people are following good routines and good regimes, but many of them are eating too much in the 4 o'clock time, and they don't get hunger till night 10 o'clock. And definitely eat
yeah,
before, if possible, around sunset time, maximum 7:30. Within before 7:30, you try to finish your dinner, and before 10 o'clock, whatever you do, at as much as possible, try to go to bed before 10 o'clock, because 10 to 2, according to Ayurveda, is a pitta time. It's highly inflammative time. If you follow, even whatever the disease you have, whatever the problem you have, just try to go before 10 o'clock and see after 1 month how much your body physiology changes. You can't imagine that much, even without changing any food habits. Still, I'm telling, because that much it is proven that going to bed late is the worst for any diseases, any
Yeah.
inflammatory disease. So try to go to bed also early. That is also important. When you're talking about the food, food is
Yeah.
not only enough. Also, routine is very much important.
Yeah. So basically, like person should eat according only when the person is hungry. It's not about eating every 2 hours. It's not about eating too many 7, 8, 6, 7, 8 meals. But it's eating when you are hungry. The number of meals can be any. But honestly, if they follow a routine, which is like having a light breakfast, like a kanji or a porridge for breakfast, then having a hearty, wholesome lunch, what I have seen in almost all the clients, and of course with me also when I follow that, when you have a hearty, wholesome lunch, you automatically don't feel like having those pakoras and stuff for 4 o'clock evening, because you're quite, full and content with the lunch that you had. So the 4 p.m. thing automatically becomes light on its own. Most of my clients are good with just a fruit or maybe a very, very light snack at that time, which is a 4 p.m. time. And then they're also then good with a very light dinner, which can again be like a khichdi, kanji, porridge, or even simple things like a roti dal or rice dal also, for that matter. So if they follow that, it's just about 3 to 4 meals, which will leave them very content and satisfied. So it's not about deprivation also. It's not that they are depriving and they are suppressing the hunger, because suppression of hunger or suppression of any emotion is something that is against Ayurveda again. So it is not about suppressing hunger, but it is about recognizing hunger and then eating according to true hunger. And this is the last thing that I want to discuss with you, Dr. Moose, before winding up, is a very beautiful thing that you explained to me once, that it's hunger is also something that people have started mistaking nowadays. So basically most of the time people feel they are hungry because they have looked at a box of pizza, and they feel that there is a sense of hunger, but actually it's a false sense of hunger. It's actually appetite, that we can say. It's not even hunger in the true sense. And they just have that sensory stimulation and not an actual sense of hunger from the belly.
Yeah.
And that is something that I think a lot of urban population faces. So just 1 or 2 lines about that, since
Yeah,
because that is something that
definitely.
is very close
Uh,
to you.
yeah, definitely. People are misjudging. Actually, appetite is hunger, but appetite and hunger is completely two different things. There are many people who has very good appetite but no hunger, and opposite also, very good hunger but no appetite. In a way, it's like in a different form. It is, and people are both, mentally. Like if I have hunger for pizza, not for kanji. You know, so it is. You can obviously understand if you give a healthy food immediately. Oh, I'm not feeling hungry. This is quite mind related things. Actually, never surrender to the mind. My basic thing is, when you really listen to your body, when you start listening to your body, the mind will start listening to you. The mind will start listening to you. Otherwise, if you start listening to the mind, you finished, in a way, because it can make you fool, it can make you, everything. Because don't trust the mind, but you can trust the mind if the intellect is behind you. If you analyze everything in the intellect, okay, is it a real hunger, is it a real food, is something which I need, and then you analyze in your brain, then consuming what's the consequences if I eat in a wrong time, what will be the, is it a real one? So you need to ask a couple of times, especially when you are eating a wrong food. And one great person also said, why, whether to how to differentiate whether it is a good food or bad food. Very simple. If you're eating a food, if you're feeling mentally and physically blissful, happy, and feel content or feel satisfied, If a food can really satisfy you, it's a good one. If it is not, like some kind of advertisement is there, like you eat something, you can't stop it. You need to eat it. Like it's a brain thing. So understand that they are, influencing your brain, and you can't stop it. And according to our belief also, it is called like it is rajasika. It can drag you. Something with a
Yeah.
sweet with the a sweet with ghee. If you are taking a sweet, there is a time you feel enough. I can't take one more piece anymore, and that's the good satisfaction. You're physically happy, mentally happy, and with the taste also happy. The body is also happy. But with the other kind of food, you can't stop it. You eat just like some chips or some kind of fry things. You keep on eating and you can't stop it. Even in milk products, there are like a cheese. You can't stop it even your stomach is full. It's
So what
dragging
you're
you. I'm telling you,
what you're talking
find out the good one. If you're while you're eating, if you're feeling mentally and physically and with the health itself, it is feeling satisfied and not feeling the craving again and again, understand it's a good one. If you don't have that
Yeah,
craving, understand you are taking the right food. If you're not aware of the food,
yeah. So basically, any food which is basically making you addictive is the food that you can think is not the right food,
anything,
which is causing you.
anything which is satisfying mentally and physically is a good one. you know
And
I
anything
mean,
which
we
is
need to analyze
addictive.
also whether it is the right one or not. I mean, whether you are really physically or mentally happy with that. Just like milk,
Yeah,
you're taking a gear, you feel enough, but other food you don't feel enough. You just feel like eating again and again. Even your tummy, everything is full. That's it. Hope you
yeah,
understood.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for
Okay.
joining, and thank you for sparing your time. And if there are any questions, then I'll let you know,
Thank you.
and we can always come back with the answers. Thank you so much,
Almost
everybody,
40,
for joining.
42 minutes. I'm taking a little bit more time, but I'm okay. I think I conveyed the message. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for asking me. Thank you.
Okay.